again for another Chicago Bears pregame show right here on the Kanika Sports Channel. I am your host, Kenny, joining you on this Thanksgiving Thursday, everybody, ahead of a Black Friday Bears matchup versus the Eagles in Philadelphia. Joining me, as always, on this Bears pregame show is my lovely co-host, Nika. Hi, Nika. Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, what happened with the voice?
Oh, I'm sorry. I had to transition out of it somehow.
Well, hello. Hello to you and hello to our new and returning listeners. Happy Thanksgiving to
Happy
everybody.
Thanksgiving. One day I will give you the voice for the whole episode, I promise. If the Bears win the Super Bowl this year, we will do the voice in the whole episode, I promise. It will be worthy.
All right.
But we got to save it for some worthy moments. Welcome, yes, indeed, to a great Bears pregame show. We are going to be talking about some of the significant injuries ahead of this game. We are going to be discussing Kenny's keys to victory. That's me. And we have to take a look at the poly markets and the odds markets ahead of this game, everybody, just to let you know where the money is at. But first, if this is your first time here, please do us a favor, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell for the biggest Bears doggo fan in the world, Frexy, our mascot. You see her, and you know you want to see more. All right, well, we are going to go around Bears social media land a little bit like we always do at the start of the show. Your first place, Chicago Bears, on this Thanksgiving, Nika. The Bears. Happy Thanksgiving. You see the superfan table. I recognize that from the SNL skit. I don't see any of the super fans per se. I don't know who's eating at the table. It looks like some characters. Maybe that's supposed to be Caleb in the lower left corner. I don't know. Looks a little bit like Caleb. So maybe there's some other players here as well that I'm missing.
Well, leave it to AI to make a picture.
I see a Mike Ditka painting in the background holding a turducken. It looks like some Staley, the Bear mascot pictures.
Nice.
Some funny stuff there. Good stuff from Bears social media land. Happy Thanksgiving. What are you thankful for as a Bears fan this year, Nika?
For the Bears being number one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got to be thankful for the Bears being in first place.
It's been a while.
I'm very thankful for that. We're thankful for a winning season, hopefully, on the horizon. The Bears, meanwhile, on this Thanksgiving, are getting ready for Black Friday tomorrow, and their merch department, which is get them while they're hot, everybody. The Good, Better, Best collection is now available right in time for Black Friday. I don't know why I'm doing their marketing work for them. Jeez, but I kind of want one of these Good, Better, Best shirts. I'm not going to lie.
It's the mantra of the Bears this season. So
it is, yeah. And it's I don't know if it's going to be in next year or future years or if it's going to change year to year. We'll have to wait and see and stay tuned for the
updates,
for all of that. But meanwhile, I do enjoy the Bears post-game victory speeches by head coach Ben Johnson, which always culminate with the Good, Better, Best mantra.
We saw other teams trying to emulate that, and it's not the same.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
Nice try, everybody.
Yeah, good luck.
All right. Well, also catching our eyeballs this week, I wanted to briefly mention here was The Shuffle. The Shuffle on HBO from NFL Films. This was, of course, a documentary 40 years in the making about the 1985 Super Bowl Shuffle recorded by your 1985 Super Bowl champion Chicago Bears. And I was so curious to watch this going into it, and it was okay.
It was okay.
But I did learn some things.
Sure.
And one of the fun things I wanted to point out that I learned is that the Bears filmed the music video for the Super Bowl Shuffle the morning after they lost to Miami on Monday Night Football during that season.
Yeah,
I never knew that. That is mind-boggling to me. Imagine being those players on that flight home, your first loss of the season, and you have to go back home in December and film a music video that says we're going to be the Super Bowl champions.
Yep. Rough one.
That was rough. And just hearing Mike Singletary talk about that experience and how Willie Gault, who had organized this whole thing, and he was like Mr. Entertainment on the Bears back then. Mm-hmm. And he had organized this whole music video shoot and the song recording and sold it to everybody as like, we're doing this for charity. But I think people who know Willie Gault knew he liked the limelight a little bit. And He was the He was the man behind this whole thing. He convinced Singletary to do it, but he also convinced Jim McMahon and Walter Payton to do it because he knew without them it would never happen. And what's funny about this is after they lost that game, Jim McMahon and Walter Payton said, "See ya." They didn't show up for the music video shoot, which is why years later, I know this now, and I've kind of always sensed something weird about their footage. They shot it in front of a blue screen, which was pretty damn new technology back then.
And then they inserted themselves. They were inserted.
Into the final music video, which is why when you watch the video, their parts look so weird sometimes and whatnot. Oh, hilarious stuff.
It is.
Go check that out if you haven't seen it yet. It is a fun little behind the scenes peek, especially to the era. The one thing that's really weird about it was that it was not shown in widescreen. They kind of cropped everything, even the new interviews from today, to fit what your TV would have shown you in 1985.
Hey, we're going back into that,
Yeah. So it's a good nostalgic time travel warp from NFL Films here. So go check that out, especially if you were around in 85 for the Bears. All right. Well, we do have a football game to talk about, and it is between the Chicago Bears, and they are visiting the Philadelphia Eagles, Nika, on this Black Friday game. I don't know how long exactly this has been happening, but this is the new tradition that follows the triple header on Thanksgiving, which is the Black Friday Amazon Prime game, everybody. And the Bears happen to be participating for the first time I can remember. And they happen to be playing at Philadelphia, the defending Super Bowl champs. Rough
game.
Rough one to land for the beloved, but we have a game. There's no rest for the week, everybody. Short week. Be damned. Bears at Eagles. It doesn't get much tougher than this. This is week 13. 2 8-3 teams duking it out. This is wild.
It is wild.
Nobody had the Bears in this position.
No.
A lot of people probably had the Eagles in this position, but nobody had the Bears being 8-3 after 11 games. Well, yeah, after 11 games, 12 weeks this year. Tip of the cap to Ben Johnson for getting it corrected, getting the ship going in the right direction much quicker than anticipated. And here we are. I mean, we got a chance.
We do.
All right. Well, this is fun. There's a lot of fun artwork on social media going around for this game. And so go and take a look at that if you can. But at the end of the day, there is a game. And I believe it kicks off at 2:30 or 3 p.m. Eastern. It looks like the coverage is back at 1:30 p.m. Eastern on Amazon. And the game itself will kick off at 3 p.m. Eastern on Amazon. So you get 90 minutes of pregame action for free on Amazon Prime if you got it, everybody. Let's talk about some injuries ahead of this game because we got some on both sides of the ball. The Eagles, the main guy I'm keeping an eye on right now is Saquon Barkley, everybody. The defending Super Bowl champion, the running back that got it done for them last year. He has definitely had a down year compared to the Super Bowl year last year. We're going to take a look at that in a second with some of the team stats and some of the individual stats. But Saquon Barkley has been limited in practice Tuesday and Wednesday with a groin injury. His status for today has not been revealed yet, and his status for the game is up in the air as of now.
So he's questionable to start.
Possibly. I would expect him to play, though, especially with the limited tag. You know, it's not like he missed any practice this week. Now, another guy on the Eagles that we got to keep an eye on is Devonta Smith, a wide receiver. He did not practice Tuesday or Wednesday, and he's listed out with a shoulder, chest, but also an illness. And because it's a short week, it does bring up whether or not he's going to have enough time to get over whatever illness he might have right now. He is up in the air for tomorrow. So that would definitely significantly weaken the Eagles' offense a little bit, especially if both of those guys were somehow unable to go in this one. Yikes. For the Bears, Tyreek Stevenson, once again, is not practicing. He now has a hip injury. This guy has had just a roller coaster season on the injured list. He's been on injury reports with different injuries all the time. Just when you think most of the Bears secondary is going to be healthy, one of them goes down again.
Well, we have depth. So
We do have depth in the secondary, which is a good thing, and we're about to get a lot of help back. That's the good news going into this one. I would venture to guess that Kyler Gordon and Jalen Johnson are both set to return from injured reserve on Friday in this one. So that's big news for the Bears. They need it, especially if Tyreek Stevenson's not going to play now. And you already know how weak we are at linebacker. If you listened to our post-game show last week, we are on the walking wounded list in linebacker land.
But we have players that have been stepping up.
It's a team effort. If I'm Saquon Barkley, I really hope I can go in this one, because knowing that the Bears are so starved at linebacker just would make me want to play. But we'll have to wait and see how that works out. Another thing I want to point out to Bears fans, though, to keep an eye on in this one is offensive lineman Theo Benedict, who had a quad injury. He did not play last week, and this opened the door for Ozzie Trapillo, our second-round offensive lineman pickup in this past year's NFL draft. He played excellent last week, Ozzie Trapillo did. So we have a little bit of an interesting situation developing now with Theo being back and practicing full this week. It looks like he would not be out again for any reason right now, and yet Ben Johnson was uncommitted to saying that he would be put back into the starting lineup. And that tells me that the Bears are probably going to start Trapillo in this game, and probably deservedly so, after he earned the Pro Football Focus's highest score after the game for the Bears last week, including over Joe Tooney, our all-pro lineman. So,
well, it will be his job to lose right at this point.
Yeah, it's one of those things where this is kind of something that happens in the NFL more than any other sport, is you can lose your job to injury because they cannot wait for you to come back, and all of a sudden the guy that replaced you is doing better than you were. And what do you think the coach? It's competition, you know. There's a lot at stake.
There's a lot at stakes, and there's always somebody waiting in the wings.
This is how teams get better throughout the course of the year. As they start to upgrade their weakest links.
Yep.
So keep an eye on how that plays out tomorrow. I'm very curious if Ozzy's going to, not only play, but start. And if Theo's going to be relegated to now a backup, which he still has to be ready to go and be focused for. So
definitely.
All right. Well, with that out of the way, let's talk about Kenny's keys to victory. The Eagles rank 24th this year in yards per game, Nika. They rank 17th in points per game. I would say the Super Bowl champion Eagles are having a bit of a downer year. They're having a bit of a hangover effect, wouldn't you say?
Well, they're a little bit of a different team versus last year.
True, but you would think with having Jalen Hurts back and having Saquon Barkley back, I mean, you have your core offense, and I guess I just didn't see offense being an area where this team struggled, and yet we've seen them struggle. We saw them have a close game with the Lions a couple weeks ago on Sunday Night Football. We saw them lose at Dallas this past week, a close game after being up, 21-0, 21-3?
A year later, people change. People don't have the same seasons.
Absolutely.
Year after year.
Absolutely. And this is an interesting time to play the Eagles because it feels like the Bears are coming on the up and up a little bit. And the Eagles are like, are we still the up and up? They just lost the divisional game at Dallas after being up big on the road. So I'm sure doubt has started to creep in to some of that locker room a little bit. And I just want to say this now. I think the Bears can beat this Eagles team at this moment in time. Absolutely. So let's talk about how they're going to do that exactly. Well, they need to stop the running game, and they need to stop it early. And assuming Saquon Barkley does play with that limited groin injury, don't let him pop off. Do not let him get going early and get some confidence going. He's been having a down year. We mentioned this. If you look at the team leaders right now, Saquon Barkley has 185 rushing attempts to DeAndre Swift's 142 rushing attempts. However, DeAndre Swift is only trailing him in yardage by like 35 yards on the whole season.
That's not bad.
Well, he has 40 less attempts. So his average yards are 4.6 to Saquon Barkley's 3.7. Our running backs are outgaining him, at least per attempt. And that's that's a big thing that the Bears need to do in order to win this game. They need to win the rushing battle. I wholeheartedly believe that. It plays into their whole time of possession game. You know, the Bears.
This is Ben Johnson's idea of winning games too.
Yeah. The Bears are 10th in the league in time of possession.
Yeah.
The Eagles are 13th, so they're pretty evenly matched there. But where we really bolt ahead of them is in points per game, 26.3 and 369.6 yards per game, compared to their 303.6. I mean, we're ranked 6th to their 24th in yards per game. So we actually, on paper, hold like an offensive advantage in this game. Now, if you look at the turnover differential, I want to talk about this because I think in order for the Bears to win this game tomorrow, they need to win the turnover differential. The Bears have a plus 16 on the season. They've taken the ball away 16 more times than they've given it up. That is first in the NFL. The Eagles, though, are plus 6, and they're 6th in the NFL. You see the drop-off. I mean, they have 10 more, but the Eagles are only 5 back from them, 6 back.
That's not bad.
Yeah, so, you know, the Eagles, when I looked at Jalen Hurts' numbers, he doesn't throw a lot of interceptions at all. This is going to be a tough game for the Bears to get turnovers, so they really have to figure out a way to win this turnover battle on the road. The Eagles, like I said, they get some turnovers. Turnovers, 4 touchdowns this year. Not only will they get turnovers, they will take them back and score points with them. And so you really got to be careful about that against this team. Protect the football.
Good
advice. That goes to the offense. Let's talk about the Bears offense, and then we'll move on to the odds makers.
Okay.
But this is a big game for Caleb Williams once again. It feels like a broken record saying that week after week after week, doesn't it? But I guess when you're in your second season and you got all eyes on you and you're the number 1 overall draft pick from the year before, that's what's going to happen, right?
Absolutely.
It's like every game becomes kind of like a make or break game for your career. It sucks. And I definitely think that some of the instant gratification culture out there plays a part into this.
Absolutely. It does.
But like it or not, Caleb Williams is on trial tomorrow, and he is on a team that's 8-3, you know, and when you're playing on the road against another team that's 8-3 in your conference, you need your quarterback to step up and have a game. And so this is a game where Caleb can cement that into people's minds and like show that the Bears belong here. The biggest knock against the Bears this year is their schedule and who they've beaten, and that they're not all that, and that once they start playing real teams like the Packers twice and the Eagles here down the stretch, that they're going to come crashing back down to reality. And that may happen.
Sure.
It may happen. I'm still here for it.
Yeah.
The Eagles also rank lower, I want to point this out, than the Bears do when it comes to sacks and getting to the quarterback, which tells me that there should be time for Caleb Williams to pass in this game, especially if Ozzie Trapillo gets the start. He's a better pass blocker than Theo Benedict is. We should be able to throw the ball against this team, and that means it's going to be a lot on Caleb Williams' shoulders. I wrote myself one final note about this to say we need a big game from Caleb Williams, and really, when don't we? At this point, you know, like we always are going to need a big game from Caleb Williams at this point in the season. You're 8-3. We want to go to the playoffs. We want to make some noise, do some damage, go as far as we possibly can.
Absolutely. And shut up some of the naysayers.
Well, yeah, it would be nice to do that in the process, although I think some are beyond help. You know, they're never going to be able to acknowledge the good. Anyways, I'm hoping to see it. I'm not going to be too devastated if for some reason we don't see it tomorrow. You know, it's going to be tough. I'm calling it right now. And we're not alone, Nika, because the matchup odds in this one are favoring the Eagles heavily. They are favored by 7 points at home. That's a whole touchdown, folks.
It's a touchdown and a home field advantage. It's a tough road game.
It's a short week to prepare.
There's that, sure.
So poly markets agree. They have a 74-26 split right now favoring the Eagles winning this game just on the money line. Now, the point spread I see on poly market as being 7.5, whereas the betting line was 7. I guess if you're going 7.5 on the Eagles winning, the Bears are actually favored on poly market to cover that. So
Okay.
they're not going to lose by more than a touchdown, according to the odds makers on Polymarket, which I guess is a good thing. But yeah, the money is also against the scoring in this game, going over 45 points right now. The over-under is 44.5, and the money is going towards the under 53 to 48, so kind of 50-50.
I think the odds coming from all the games that the Bears play against the teams that were under 500, and people don't believe as the Bears are the team that's good in overall.
I agree. This is a chance to prove those people
Right.
wrong and kind of change the trajectory of the rest of your season. You know, like if we go to 8-4, we're probably going to fall into some kind of a tie with Green Bay or Detroit or both of them tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then if we win, we stay ahead of them and, you know, have a lot of momentum going into that big game with Green Bay next week. So,
Maybe they need their own shuffle song.
it's a huge opportunity for the Bears. Well, the Bears do have a new Bear Down song on social media. I've heard it going around. Go check that out if you haven't heard it. But Nika, you want to make a prediction for this game tomorrow?
Yes, sure. I'm taking the Bears.
You're taking the Bears.
I'm
wow.
going against the grain.
You're going against the grain. I love it. What do you think the score is going to be?
Ooh, high scoring game.
High score. So you think the under is underselling it? 44.5. You think it's going over?
44.
That's like 25-20. I mean, it's not that big.
That's not too bad. Yeah, I'll go over.
Okay.
If I go with the Bears, I'm going to go over.
Okay. I am also taking the Bears in an upset over the Eagles, 23-20.
Wow, you're so specific. Jeez.
Another game-winning drive to
Okay,
win
I
this
see.
one.
Hail Mary at the end and
No, field goal.
field goal. Okay.
Yeah, game-winning field goal.
So more cardiac Bears, basically.
More cardiac Bears. Yeah, I mean, you better just go in expecting it tomorrow. Keep a light Thanksgiving dinner today so you
Just
don't
in
have any
case.
heart attacks with those cardiac Bears tomorrow. But Caleb will go 18 for 30 in this one. He's going to have one of his better completion percentage games, which should shut up some people. Only a touchdown pass tomorrow, but 240 yards passing. So
Okay.
I'm seeing it happen, everybody. All right. Well, let us know what you think is going to happen in the Bears game below. What are your predictions? Are we going to go to 9-3 or will we fall to 8-4 on the 2025 season after the Black Friday Philadelphia game? I cannot wait to see some of these comments. All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up. Happy Thanksgiving once again. Please go and enjoy some football, some food, some fun, some family, some friends. Any more Fs?
No.
Okay. That's all the Fs we got for this Thursday edition of the Kanika Sports Show Bears pregame show. Thank you for joining us. This was fun.